Hello. Welcome back if you were here yesterday. Alright. First, we're going to carry the splinter scheme up onto the canopy. Then we'll work on the underside a little bit. Get that meshed in. There's 4 pieces I still got to glue on under there after I paint them. That's these things. And then I want to try something because this thing was supposed to have a HUD. Even with the canopy closed, there ain't no way a HUD's fitting in there. But what I was thinking is put something fitting with the whole 90s anime sci-fi aesthetic that Machine and Krieger embodied. Why couldn't we have something mounted to the frame right here with the HUD display in it, and I'd be able to utilize the HUD glass from the kit and mount it on like a display that'll be closer to the pilot's face, and honestly probably a lot more functional in that regard, because that's the point of the HUD. It replaces a lot of the gauges and dials so you don't have to constantly look away to do something. That's my thinking on it anyway. Okay. So there. But how's everybody doing today? Why am I shaky? I have eaten. Looks like today's going to be one of those days where we just got to be a little extra careful with the paintbrush. Don't know how long I'm going to be on today. I want to shoot for my usual 3 hours, which is why I'm on a little early. But I really need to get my car to a car wash that has a pressure washer. I'm going to start on some of the more in-depth body work that I'd like to do. And I need a car wash with a pressure washer to blow off any old loose paint, things like that. Works well enough. We'll just play it by ear though and see how it goes. And I did solve the pilot situation. I'm just going to use the pilot from the Mark 44. I think it's good enough. It looks right. It's the right scale. And that does look more flight suit than mech suit to me. So let's get you flipped over. We'll get a protective paper towel under the canopy. And actually, let me put something underneath. I need that color. Won't need that for right now. Get you under here so the engine's not resting on the table either. Just trying to clear a workspace here. Now I'm going to try out this rust color from Model Air. It's a metallic color. And to be honest, it almost looks like the same color as my car. And I don't mean rusty, I mean like a deep coppery metallic. But I want to use it on these pipes here and just see what it does when it dries. I've never used this one before, so it'll be interesting. Let's see what it does with some washes and some other things over it. But it almost looks like a deep copper. Now, technically, I should have put these in before I put these crankcases on. All you got to do is trim that pin off here and here, and they'll drop right in. So they can be left off for later. And Model Citizen, if you're catching this one late, hey Aries, how you doing? Sorry you slept through the other one. You're probably asleep right now too if you're working nights, so at least the VOD will be here for you to catch up. I know it's more fun when it's live and you can interact though. This is definitely turning out something different. We're gonna have to play with this a little bit. So how goes the daily grind, Aries? The tweezers don't even want to tweeze today. They just want to zerr. But yeah, I tried logging into Generation Zero last night, and the game wouldn't even load. Like, it would go to the load screen, you'd see the little cassette thing in the corner do the rotatey thing, and nothing. So, did they just shut down the servers entirely and just say, fuck it? I hope not. And let me know if anything's too loud or too quiet. I've got the mic in the usual spot. But I know sometimes I kind of pull away from it and you can't hear me as well, and then I get too close and then you hear me like this, and then, you know. I haven't... The last time I played it is the last time you and I played it. This. But the rain we were supposed to get yesterday never materialized, so yay. I really should have painted these before I shoved them in here, but I can get them. There's two 50 caliber-ish looking guns in the front bay. But let me know if there's ever a time you want to play Fireteam Elite. It's the only other game that is like Generation Zero in the regard that you can just play together, PvE, and just, you know, FAFO with it. And maybe we can play it a little slower this time, find more of the informational stuff and find out what's going on in the universe that's created here. It would be cool if the company that made it would revisit it and update it along the lines of some of the new stuff that's come out in, like, Romulus, and after Alien Earth comes out, whatever's going on there. But at least it's a solid playable game with very few bugs. Well, the aliens are bugs, but I mean detrimental oddities. I know, I don't. any day after 3. Maybe we can set playing that into streaming as well, so that way I can keep up, at least on the Twitch side of things, with that. So it'd be after 4 your time, so you'd be home from work for a while before we have to get back into it. So was that a card, or was that like a legit glitch in the game? Since it happened twice, I have a feeling that was a card you played. Yeah, so like Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, which are, you know, Fridays are usually my days off, but Tuesday, oh, Mondays I'm off usually too, but we can figure it out. It would be neat to have a regular schedule for that. And I know you don't always have WoW stuff either, so like that comes and goes depending on updates and raid schedules and all that. Sorry, I'm just taking a minute to think. Yeah, let's get these in place. And then there'll be... What was weird? Fire team? Or me not being able to reload? The thing is, it never happened to you. Ah. And the thing is, there's replayability in it, in the fact that there's the stuff to find, and there's the 4 different classes to use. Like last time, I strictly ran a smart gunner. So it would be interesting just to run your standard marine loadout or medic loadout or something else. You know, just to get a different feel for the different aspects of the game. Too bad BioWare never got around to finishing their Aliens RPG game. It would have played a lot like Knights of the Old Republic back in the day. What? You didn't know BioWare had... You can look it up. There's a couple videos, pretty long videos. They were at a pretty substantial build that they were able to show off a vertical slice of the game. Like, a lot of the mechanics for it were already in place and ready to go. And then it got canceled. I know, I've got a pretty odd obsession with the whole aliens thing anyway, so never mind me. Okay, gotta touch up that copper. Or not that copper, rust. I think a lot of the development staff that was making it got put onto what was that other game that turned to shit? Oh, Mass Effect. Because I think it was post Old Republic, but pre Mass Effect. And it may have even been because Sega started developing Colonial Marines that they didn't want too many things out there, you know? Which is why it was weird that, like, almost a week... It was probably a little bit later than that, but it felt like almost immediately... The first two were good. It felt almost immediately like right after Colonial Marines was released, and everybody got this shit perception of it, which a lot of it was justified. All of a sudden they announce Alien Isolation, and it's basically at the end of its development. It's like, well, why did you even go further with Colonial Marines if you knew all this shit was happening? And I just remember reading articles back in like 2003 or 4 about Colonial Marines and how it was supposed to be more planet spanning, and it wasn't just aliens. You were going to other planets and dealing with other things. There was going to be vehicle combat and all this other stuff. And then it turned into the 4-person co-op survival thing where you're cutting and welding doors and basically doing the last stand for an entire game. And then we got this cheap knockoff COD clone without the fun mechanics of like sliding and stuff like that. And really bad AI. these out of the way up here. Yeah. When it was a single player, story driven, historical event based game. And what's really sad is one of the companies that made one of the best Aliens games is now resigned to the COD mines for eternity. The company that made AVP 2 now makes Call of Duty maps. But even Aliens vs. Predator 2010 wasn't a terrible game. I don't know if its servers are still online. I know I can lobby up for a game, but just no one's out there playing it. There's one streamer that had to buy like 11 copies and send them to friends to get a viable game on to even try multiplayer stuff on it. But I remember playing the shit out of that back in the day, and it was just fun. And the multiplayer on it was fun too. It wasn't all just teabagging shit talking. You know, there was aspects of it that made you work together. I'm working on the cockpit just as I'm waiting for things to dry underneath that I painted. And what was that other game you were playing? It was PSP and PS2 at the same time, and there's things you could do on either one that would affect, or you could transfer to the other, like weapons you upgraded and things like that. It was a more modern day game, I remember that. Maybe it was based on the SEALs or something. I know you were playing it downrange. Ow, ow, ow. It was. No, that's not yellow, that's piss water. Give me a sec. Let's go with a different yellow. That's what it was. I still got a lot of my old PS1, 2, and 3 games. And fortunately, I have a PS3 that's still backwards compatible. Couldn't you cross-load your unlocks as well? Like if you unlocked a certain weapon or something, you could add that to your character on the PS2? Okay. That makes sense. So, as you're playing Fireteam Alpha on the PS2, you're following what the Bravo team is doing on the PSP. And as you cross-link the data, if they screwed up a mission on one side, it would affect how difficult it was on the other side because the assets would change. Because then, in a way, the ones on the... So, like, say you fail a PSP mission, that would alert the enemy team on the PS1 or PS2 side of something going on in the region. Yeah. An oddly real-world idea, if you think about it. Especially for 2004, 2005. I'm surprised Spec Ops: The Line never got more interest from people. Because everything I've seen on it, it looks like it was a really... Yeah, it's more fun to link them. But, yeah, the line was different. And I know the core story mode played out like Apocalypse Now, but set in Saudi Arabia after a sandstorm kind of thing. Sorry, just trying to clean up my palette. I might have to retire this one. Yeah. This one's got less chrome on it. So what was I gonna do? That's right. And sorry if I'm just rambling and I've got stray thoughts. I'm near the end of this project, so there's not really a lot to talk about on it. So it's kind of like a free-for-all as far as conversation goes today. I'm just adding little details here and there. If I get into something a bit more convoluted, I'll explain it, but I'm just plucking details as far as I'm, like what I'm doing right now. Think of it as a filler anime episode. Isn't SWAT 4 about the same time they decided they were going to make the movie? Or did the movie come out long before? You know what game I was hoping for a remaster of? I mean, we kind of got it with Paradise, but it's not the same. Was the Burnout Revenge. I remember I got that downrange and you and I played the ever-living piss out of it. I think I still have it. Yeah, it's around here somewhere. Going back to the oiled earth on this one. I want to add it to the to these crankcase looking pieces and these fans. Oh yeah, like I remember games like that. Like they would sell it on the fact that you can control the team through button prompts and stuff like that. But it was like there was a cooldown. Like you'd hit the button prompt, they'd listen, and then after X amount of time, like you said, they'd just run straight in. Like they just forgot that you just ordered them to do something. Now I'm hoping that this effect will turn out as subtle as I expect. The oiled earth, you really have to layer it to get it to really pop on some things. But if you want something just to have that grimy look, like I've already done these with a black wash of a different formula from Vallejo, and now I'm just putting the oiled earth over that, and I'm hoping the two layers work together and just give it this kind of grimy, not exactly rusty, but just grimy metallic tone. I never got into the SWAT games or anything like that. The only first-person shooters I really got into were the Battlefield Bad Company series. Mostly because of the fact they were far removed from reality, right? They were that Tom Clancy style, Kelly's Heroes comedy, happy-go-lucky guys. But it was in that fictional Cold War type setting. And I appreciated the games for that. By the time Bad Company 2 came out, I was honestly just disgusted seeing real world in my video games, like current day real world. Battlefield 3 I could not play. Just something about it was too right, you know? Like, I actually got a kind of depression playing Battlefield 3. It was hard to explain. I tried, you know, but I couldn't do it. It just wasn't fun either. Like, all the same kind of mechanics that were in Bad Company 2 were in it, but it didn't feel like a fun game. Yeah, same thing. The World War II games are far enough removed, even Vietnam games are far enough removed from current day that you can enjoy them for what they are. And after that, I kind of completely lost interest in most first-person shooters. Well, I could always download, what's that game? Enlisted? But lately, you know, outside of like the sci-fi games that I play and the fun stuff, I know it sounds weird, I like my stuff a little bit quieter now. Or is that just weird? Like, even Stalker, for all its gunplay, is it's a relatively quiet game. That music's over. Let's get something else going. And years ago, I even stopped playing Halo. Um, Not for the same reason a lot of other people did, but something with how they do the what's it called? The parallax shift, the focus shift in the game. They didn't have it, so everything is sharp, whether it's a mile away or a foot away, right? And that started fucking with my eyes. Like, there was a point where I couldn't focus on the game at all. Because everything was so sharply rendered that my eyes were trying to focus on everything at once. I got into the first three. I felt that was a good ending. And honestly, I think a lot of people would have been happy if it had just been left there. Um, they left it open for sequels if a good enough story came out. Whether or not the following games were good enough for most people, I don't know. But I was content with how the story wrapped up. I played ODST for a bit, but even that, it had potential that they never followed up on. At least I don't know if they followed up on it. And what I mean by that is not in a comic that I've got to read or a TV show I've got to watch, but like legit game that followed the same team of people. Which was like a fucking Firefly reunion too, because you had Nathan Fillion, Adam Baldwin, and what's his name? Played Wash. He's K2SO. Alan Tudyk. All together again in the same thing. And then they threw in, what's her name? Cylon 6 from Battlestar Galactica. So the cast and characters were there. They just never really followed on it. Trisha Helfer. Wait a minute. Who owns Firefly? Was that a Fox production? I know it aired on Fox as the distributor, but who footed the bill for it originally? Get you right side up for a minute. Ear tickle. Come on, Cap, screw back on. I need to reorganize for a second here. I've got my rinsing water in the wrong spot. I don't like reaching across the model or across the camera to do that. There. I need you again. Hey Alex, how you doing? Yep, we're here again. Excuse me. I know I'm on even earlier than yesterday. Could this be the start of a trend? I hope so. Because if I can get myself rolling on the earlier start times, it means I can also start rolling on the longer stream times. Which, the past few streams have exceeded 3 hours by 45 to 60 minutes. So if we can start a better trend on that. Excuse me. So were we discussing anything yesterday that you guys wanted to continue the discourse on, or no? I know towards the end a few interesting things got brought up about, you know, just different hobby-related aspects. And why does my head tickle? Probably because I gotta cut my hair tonight. I'm starting to channel Doc Brown a little too much. But yeah, if Firefly's distribution rights and production rights are still owned by Fox, that means it's now owned by Disney. God, I hope they don't realize they've actually got something on their hands that people want. That's not Star Wars, or else Firefly's in trouble. They seem to be distracted enough by Marvel stuff, Star Wars stuff, and Tron. For now. Hey Swagman, how you doing? Yeah, I think it throws in just enough of a difference to make it pop. We're going to throw a black wash on the compressor fans that are in there too. If I, you know, if I can stop knocking my stuff over for 5 minutes. Okay, gotta put you down again. I'm just putting this under the canopy to protect it. because I want to give the bell, or the thrusters, a coat of black, and the gun bay. Excuse me. That was an ugly yawn, wasn't it? Not that you're ever really going to see these faces once it's on its base, but just in case you ever do, I just want to pop them out just a little bit. Not that it makes any sense to have a compressor fan like that in a rocket bell. Yeah, that is looking just the right amount of grimy and oily. Right down there. Come on, autofocus, you just had it. There. So I ordered a model a couple weeks ago. One of those Hasegawa 35th scale Hitachi construction vehicles. It's the front end loader with the articulated plow on it. I figured that would be a nice little change of pace from all the Star Trek and Maschinen Krieger and anime figures we've been doing. That'll be here today, but we won't. I don't know when today, but it'll be here today. But I figure that would be a good subject for probably the next stream. Kind of a palate cleanser before I dive back in on the Defiant and the small Reliant. Oh, the air's drying out again. I can just feel my skin tightening up, cracking. Alright, well, some of this dries. Perfect time for a get up and move around break. I'm gonna pause, head upstairs, take a bio break, and I'll be right back. I have returned. Okay. What else do we need? I think we're pretty much done on the underside. Let's flip her back over. And, as I said earlier in the stream, but for those who are just now joining us, we're going to use the Mark 44 pilot from this kit as the pilot for the Fledermaus, because this looks more flight suitish to me than mech pilot. Hi, Allie. Yep, come on. Good girl. I gave you plenty of space here, so you don't need to play with anything else over here. Especially the wires. Leave the wires alone. You don't touch the wires. Come here. Come on. Come here, little house tiger. Good girl. We have desk cat. Don't you bite my arm now. Yeah, you look like you were about to go in for a nip there, cat. Is it me, or does anybody else hear a dove cooing in that noise? I don't even know if you guys are hearing the music too loudly today. It's pretty quiet. There's one dome. Alley hair on my thumb. And thanks again to all the more recent subs out there on the YouTube side. Less than 70 to go. And then after that, we have to have... we can go over this. I'm just trying to think of a way to get more notice without being stupid about it. Like, I don't want to click the promote channel thing on YouTube, but I think that's dumb, but if you want to get seen, that's how you get seen, I guess. So... Okay. So after we get the 500 subs, we need to have either 3,000 watch hours in a year, public watch hours, or 3 million short views in 3 months. Good God. And that's for Just the basic membership stuff. Okay. And then for watch ads, it's more, but that's the 1,000 subscribers. Okay, so yeah, we're going for the membership stuff anyway. So yeah, 500 subs and at least 3,000 public watch hours in a year. We're at 432 since they started this. I think the numbers are trying to catch up. Yeah, just the likes, the sharings, things like that. I don't want to be that guy that pays to promote his stuff and have it infest everybody's feeds, because while that gets you the attention, that also gets you unwanted attention. That's when people start scrutinizing you a bit more, because you're like, who's this guy? Why is he suddenly in my feed? Why is he annoying the crap out of me right now? Okay, is this plugged again, or is it just... Okay, it's not plugged. Well, what's funny is the way YouTube works, you have to like, share, and subscribe, right? But why is it everybody says, oh, you're a grifter since you're saying that in your videos? I'm like, well, you kind of have to do that. That's how the system works, guys. So, I don't know. It feels like damned if I do, damned if I don't kind of stuff. Okay, that's too big. I need a wire or something. We're playing army mind games here, you know, the MRE instructions. Put it on a rock or something. Okay, where's my drill bits? Too big. Darn it. Well, exactly. Like, and it's, how do I draw that fine line between notice and annoyance? I'm gonna have to find a finer. I can't unscrew this and clear it out. That's the other problem. It's glued to the bottle. Because unfortunately, that's what a lot of people do when they promote their channel in the influence kind of way. It's more annoyance than notice. And I get that notice, even the annoyance, can get you the attention you need for the channel. It can also backfire greatly. Yep, you see kitty whiskers. We have a desk alley. There we go. It's cleared out now. Good lord. Exactly. And you're right there as well. Just because you're getting the follows and the views in that regard doesn't mean, one, they're going to stay around. It's a short-term solution. You know, doing the promoting thing. It's not organic. It means that, yeah, you're getting attention, right? but how many of those people are hanging around? And I've noticed, especially on the Twitch side, I tend to get a lot of European viewers as opposed to American. And the only way to really not take advantage, because that sounds predatory, yeah, that's the other thing I see. But that's the other problem, is a lot of bots. You put something out there, you're gonna get the bots. And I probably have a lot of bots as subscribers on here too, on YouTube. But how do I take it? No, not advantage. How do I embrace the difference in time and stuff like that? The only thing I can think of is being on earlier. I'm not gonna be one of those, you know, wake up at 3 a.m. streamers, because right now is when most of the people in the European time zone that would be interested are getting off work and just winding down for the evening. Give or take an hour or two. But I've had people from Russia, Germany, Belgium, Denmark, even Norway. Actually, no. Where has Norway been? I haven't seen him in a while. Rat Pack Norway. He was on Twitch. But yes, Aries, you see Whiskers. Because there's a kitty just out of frame. I was like, how are you seeing the Whiskers? But yeah, I see them right there in the bottom corner. Allie decided to join us after the break. Okay. So my idea is for a HUD-like assembly. Texas, those weirdos? What? You were weird before you lived in Texas. Exactly, Alex, and for a lot of people that are viewing stuff like this in Europe, that's about the time they'd be doing it. They're home from work, winding down, they've had their dinner, you know. Alright, this is where we gotta start being careful. Because I gotta figure out a way to mount this that looks functional. Oh, I know I get viewers from Texas. But again, you're not originally from there, are you? Okay, so this is gonna close closer to his head, so I want to mount it about the halfway point. But how can I do this so it looks functional to the craft? Let's get the styrene strip out. Got some C channel here. We can make that into L channel if we need to. As soon as I put it down, Allie starts playing with it, of course. And we've got some rod. And I've got my telephone cord. No, girl. Bad. Bad. So this might be overkill, but I want to use this somehow on this. Like, it's going to run down the canopy frame like that on the inside. Right? And attach to in here. But that way it kind of looks cool when it's hanging down as the canopy's open. Or it'll be like that. Allie, did your little paw swat make me lose the clear piece I needed? Because I reacted to you so quickly? Hmm? You were a bad girl, I lost a piece. I don't even remember where I put it now. Doesn't appear to be on the floor. That's alright. I can still fabricate the armature. I can't. I'm in the middle of the stream. Somebody else wants to, and if they can tell me if they saw a small... Oh, there it is. Ha-ha! Found it. I'm sorry, Allie. I blamed you for something you didn't do. Okay, I'm having idea. I'm having... Yep, I'm having an idea. Can you smell the... Can you smell the cells burning? I just have to be able to do this without her playing Batcat and hitting all my stuff all over the place. Okay, so this is going to come off the frame. Then this will be glued to the frame. That's the hinge. Okay. Alright. Like a guild navigator, I see plans within plans. Yeah, you've been noticing how she keeps trying to swat at my hand as I'm using the long pieces of plastic? Or are you talking about me just having ideas that could get dangerous? Yeah. Okay. So I need a thinner piece of plastic. Slightly thicker than that. It's too thin. There's that stripper rod. That strip. Okay. 0.25. 1/8 channel. Sorry, I just got inspired by the camera mount that Aries sent me. Now, I'm going to be working with this. It doesn't mean you swat out and play with it. You understand? Because if you had something like this, wouldn't it be nice to be able to just retract it out of the way when you don't need it? And then that way... Yep, this... can go here as the interface. I hope all of this is clear as mud when I'm done with it. We'll see. And all this started from the fact that I was looking at the canopy going, there's no way a HUD would fit under this when it's closed. So how would I make a HUD for something like this? Okay. Give that glue time to set a little bit. I need another piece of this, just a bit thicker. 2 pieces. And this is going to be fiddly and fragile looking as hell. But I think the end result will be cool. I'm out of accelerator too. That's another thing I need to go get. Maybe after the stream today I'll take a run to at least Hobby Lobby and get that. I could have sworn I bought some recently, but I guess I used it already. You mean the ones inside? Yeah, the kit ones are a little toy-like, aren't they? Trying to use clear part cement, which is like using PVA glue. Probably not the best idea for this, but If I use super glue, it'll fog. And if I use regular model glue, well, I run the risk of possibly contaminating the whole part. But it looks like we might be having to run that risk anyway. Or I'll just say fuck it and use super glue. I can remove any fogging with gloss coat. I'm testing it outside so I don't mess up the inside. Okay, so back here, then like that. It's not right in front of his head, but it might look interesting like that. No, I gotta shorten that. Darn it. Yeah, I gotta shorten this. And I just realized I did the biggest no-no in history. I used super glue over the canopy. If that super glue had dripped, well, we'd be stripping the canopy down and doing a lot of sanding. And hold it some more until it kicks a little bit. Allie's falling asleep. This is the perfect music to watch glue dry to, isn't it? There we go. And then... a handle on this side. If I can grab it the right way around. There we go. I am becoming one with the model. This is why I don't like being out of accelerator. Because I'm running into the classic problem of using superglue. When you don't want it to kick, i.e. when you're doing a really small part on a really delicate area, it kicks immediately. When you do want it to kick, it takes an hour for some reason. I know a lot of it has to do with surface area and oxygen content and temperature and all that, but it's like, come on, just work, please. The larger the blob, the more surface area. You have to remove the oxygen, or you have to add CO2 or something like that to get it to kick more readily, or heat. That's why they say if you want your super glue to last longer, put it in the fridge when you're not using it. Okay. I'm just going to let that sit like that while it cures for a minute. And in the meantime, we're going to have some juice. What's up, girl? What are you looking at? You being a little creeper? You're not the only one who's knocked over a bottle of glue. Oh, you want bellies? Okay. Oh, no, we're not getting in front of the camera. Whoa, big stretch. That was a big stretch for a little kitty like you. Hey. Good girl. Come on, get a prairie dog? Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. How to mesmerize your cat. Normally she would sit up and headbutt my hand. Come on. Come on. Good girl. Good girl. Yeah. Okay. No, don't chew on the antenna. Thank you. Okay. The face cam pointing back this way a little bit. What? You keep looking at me like I got something for you. Hmm? Don't you nip my arm. God, this thing is so tiny. One thing I haven't done in a while is go to all the thrift stores and see what kind of kits they might have. Lately they've been empty. My wife's been going and she checks, but she may not see the boxes as easily as I do. I'm just painting the edge of the clear piece. That just helps make it more visible in the model. There. But yeah, there's our... Oh, come on, work. This will probably blow out the camera. Yep. Okay. Our improvised makeshift HUD assembly. We want it right about there. But inside. Here's where the real fun begins. Come on, glue, kick. We'll give that a minute to do its thing too. The weight of the wire coil is moving it around before the super glue can do its thing. It's still not as centered as I like, but for something like that you would think the pilot would want to be able to move it around as he's doing things. Who knows, it's sci-fi. It just looks interesting. And then drill bit, but I need a slightly larger one. That's way too fucking big. Never mind. That's the wrong one. Could have sworn I had another one in here. Oh, did I actually do the right thing and put it back where it belongs? Hey, how about that? That, and it takes the canopy and gives you something to look at because I'm having it raised. Even if it was lowered, I'd want to do something, but this makes it even easier to see. We'll have the cable plug in there. That way it doesn't get cut by the canopy as it raises and lowers. Make sure I got that drilled the right size with a spare piece of the wire. Yep, okay. Wish I was better at doing a Professor Farnsworth impression. Here's the ship I built with some small pieces of wire. It's still wiggly. Oh, that's why. Okay. This should do better now. Because the paint that was on the part glued and then came off, but now it's hopefully going to have a better bond. Maybe. Actually, I know what we can do while this is drying. Okay, where's my bronze or gold? There we go. I'm gonna try to pick out the seat belts. And my desk is a mess today. I never did get around to cleaning it up yesterday. I just kind of left it. Just to give these a little bit of a pop. Hi. I know, I play with you when I wait for things to dry. That's why it's good to have cats with you. Gives you something to do while you're waiting on paint or glue to dry. Oh, don't fall off. You almost backed up off the table, girl. You've done that before, too. She's clumsy. Come here. Allie. Get away from the edge. Come here. Come on. Come get your pets. Yes, come to safety. There. Yeah, she got to rolling around and playing one day, and her back foot slipped off the edge of the table, and thump, the rest of her went. You and that deadly tail. Yeah. Come here. Come on. Oh no, you're not playing with the Q-tips. Sorry. Those are not for kitties. Or that. Yeah, normally I'm pretty good about putting those away because I know sometimes you come sniffing around at night. Because you get bored and you think, oh, there might be something to play with up here. And while we're waiting for things to dry, I'm still trying to put together an idea for this. Don't quite know yet. Alright, that's nice and solid now. Is it me or does it sound like somebody sampled the probe from Star Trek IV for this mix? That sound is very familiar. That is a very precarious thing to hang on, but I'm gonna let it cook for a second. Now, okay. Captain, there be whales here. Yeah. I saw that in theaters. I saw 4, 6, and First Contact in theaters. Motion picture in 2, I was too young to really care. Especially motion picture, I was only 3. By the time 2 came out, I was 6? Something like that? 5? I can't remember if I saw 3 in theaters or not. I remember seeing it a lot. I think I did. There was a lot going on in my personal life when 3 came out. We were moving house. I was in the 1st grade. And I remember just seeing a lot of hype about 3 on TV. And they spoiled the destruction of the Enterprise, too. Allie. Hi. I'd pet you, but I'm holding this part in place. And I may even make a safety brace for it to go on the side here where my fingers are. Even the F-15 needs a safety brace. The F-16 didn't, though. We just raise the canopy on that thing and go, yep, it's good. You are not so supporting very well. Because the glue is not kicking very well. It's making contact, but just the glue is not kicked at all. Yes, chew on my finger. Sometimes you act like you're a little bobcat, even though you're not. What was that? Allie, come here. Come here. I guess it has to do the size. Yeah, it had a screw actuator as opposed to hydraulic, but that's just it. The F-16 I think has an internal, like, electric arm or something. I know you can hear the motor just going nuts when you're raising it. And you can raise it by hand with a speed handle if you have to. It's not something you ever want to have to do. Okay, are you holding yet? You've held to my finger. Yeah, my super glue might be getting old. That's all right. I just don't want to use too much super glue because I don't want it frosting it. On smaller parts like the screen for the HUD, you can get away with putting clear on it. On larger pieces like this, you got to be a bit more careful. Somebody's having a cleaning session. Yep, I was just talking about that not too long ago. But how it sticks when you don't want it to, but never sticks when you need it to. Or you have to sit here like this and hold it. And my nose is itching again. My biggest fear is the whole canopy just going thunk like this, and the part that I applied the glue to coming up into here and just going, and then it sticks. Hi, pretty girl. You're shiny. Healthy kitty. You got shiny fur. But even on the D model, we never had to put a safety strut in. There we go. Come on. Good girl. So before I finalize the pilot, should I go with this one, which looks appropriate, or should I look for something more Machine and Krieger related on like Amazon or eBay? I know Brickworks has a couple different pilot figures. Because then, or should I look for something more for the Mark 44 that seems more mech suit appropriate and just keep going with this on this one? You got an ear itch? Huh? You got an ear itchy? Yeah. Oh, that's hitting the spot. Did I get it? Did I get it? Yeah, I got it. Is that better? Belly rubs. Yeah. Arr, don't bite me. Don't yar me. Hi. Yeah, I think I'll keep this guy for this. Oh, Jesus. And the canopy just closed on its own. Because the glue just does not want to hold. Well, this is about as techie as you can get. I mean... I know what I gotta do. I didn't want to do it because I'm afraid of glue or white plastic showing through. But I can see what's going on. I just have to be careful and touch it up after. And I'm going to use a different glue. It's still going to be a super glue, but it's going to be a different brand. Newer bottle. Well, that's what I want to make, but I have to have the canopy open to make it, so I know what size to make it. The reason it failed is the glue was still gummy, it hadn't fully kicked, and the paint peeled off the canopy inner frame. But I scraped that off, and I removed the excess glue. Third time's a charm, right? Seems to be the way of things for this stream at times. because I was going to start making that little... Basically, it's a hydraulic piston with 2 U's at the end. I was just going to use some styrene tube, cut a slice of it, cut it in half for the upper and lower support cradles, and then make the piston out of just 2 different diameters of styrene rod. Getting chin rubs now, huh? There you go. Okay, Allie, I need some room here. Sorry, girl. Just gonna slide you down the desk a little bit. Typically this should hold. I don't know why it doesn't want to. It is Monday. I mean, there's that we could factor into it. I know. That was kind of the idea, because it keeps it from flying open. I've never been a fan of the F-35, even when it was still in its prototype state and all that crap. Just... Okay, now what could I put in here to keep it from closing until I make that support? Let's see how that does. Problem is, it's right where I want to put the damn support. But I can eyeball it. There's that. And that. No, that's too big. Okay. Those are the same size. Actually, where did that piece of brass rod go? Okay, can I get this to center just a little bit? it's big enough. Ah, perfect. Okay, I need to find my actual wire cutters. There we go. Let's at least cut the plastic down. We can always trim that shorter. Get this glued together. Watch, this will probably glue in an instant while the other stuff is still trying to dry. Yep. Tube. I know I just brushed the microphone, sorry. And drill bit. This is probably way too big for it anyway, but I can always sand it thinner once it's on. Where's the hole? Without the hole. Okay, can I move you? Not really, but we're doing it anyway. Actually, I should have done that first before. Okay. Yeah, let's take this off real quick. Cut you down by half. Reinstall you. This is going to go right here. And that. This will get painted red. Don't slip through and stab me now. Okay, let's do a test fit and see how it goes. I'm probably going to take some sandpaper and narrow those. Ah, the canopy drooped a bit more. But there. That's the rough idea of it. Bring you further forward. Or even a fat paintbrush. No. That'll keep it where it needs to be while we do some refining on this. I feel like I've just spent way too much time on this canopy right now. But this is one of the more important parts of the entire model to make it look interesting. Kind of like if you're painting a figure, you could have the best painted figure in the world. If you screw up the face on it, forget it. Oh, Allie's got the zoomies again. Wonder if she'll make the donut fly like yesterday. Keep an eye on that thing right there. You see it wiggling? Allie's in there spinning around and around. She did it yesterday and it wound up about 6 feet away over here while she was inside it. At least I think she was inside it. Allie, what are you doing? Actually, Allie, you okay? Or you still got the zoomies? Come on, don't stick to me, stick to the model. Thank you. I think that's super glue use in a nutshell. Okay, a little more music. Thanks again for everybody watching. I know it's been a quiet stream as far as chat.
Allie.
Sorry, she just kind of creeped me out for a second. There we go. I may leave the bottom portion just wider anyway. Okay. And some red. And once it's in place, we'll scratch it up while it's on the model. Because these things are always beat around. A lot of times you see more aluminum than red on them in real world, applications. Even if I wasn't having trouble with the canopy staying up, I'd probably still add this, just to keep it more stable. More time watching paint dry. I'm going to take another quick move around break. It's been another hour and 20 minutes. If you have been sitting for a while, I suggest you do the same. Trust me, you don't need a clot running around. Alrighty, we're back. Sorry, I just had to talk to the wife about some stuff. Excuse me. So, we'll back the bottle out a little bit. There we go. I've just got little dots of super glue on there. We'll let them do their thing. So the Fledermaus is essentially finished. Again, I want to make a display base for this and for the Hornies. I just don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. What color flight suit? Just your standard olive green with like a sage green G-suit? Excuse me. And if anyone's just joining us is wondering, I take those breaks just basically for my own peace of mind. I've known too many people and known of too many people that lead jobs where they're on their ass a lot. And while my full-time job has me on my feet a lot, it doesn't really matter. It could still happen. It's just good practice to get up periodically and move around. Don't need a blood clot forming in my leg, which will then move to my lungs or my heart, and that'll end things really quick. And I'm sure you guys don't want me having a heart attack live on stream, right? So put some matte coat out real quick. I got a little bit of glue shine on the airframe when I put the strut on. Right there. We're gonna slather this guy in some olive green. Do what now? Why are we freaking out? because of glue shine. Eh. I mean, I've got the drill bits, and if I really, really wanted to... Oh, oops. I'm gonna paint over that anyway. Doesn't matter. I could drill small holes. And I could make safety pins and make it look like it's an entire working mechanism. I mean, I could do that. I'll probably think of something interesting to put on the helmet at least. Or I'll dig through the smaller decals I've got for something to put on the sides of it. Because I still have the 35th scale suits from the nut rocker that I could put together. But we've had a lot of Machine and Krieger and a lot of Star Trek recently, so after this I want to mix it up, and that's why I ordered that front end loader with the plow. Plus it's something I can make look dirty. And I'm sure there's probably somebody asking why I'm not airbrushing them. I don't feel like it. This is very much embodying the that meme of Christopher Walken, you know. Put your hands up. No. Why not? Because I don't wanna. But I've got a gun. And? Also keep in mind this kit was not meant to be built with the canopy open. It only had the option for it being closed. I don't know how far we'll get on the figure. It'll probably be finished off stream. The Fledermaus is essentially ready for having a short made, which will be up tonight. A lot of my shorts have been getting some pretty good views. 4 or 5 of the most recent ones are in the 12 to 1300 count, which really for just about a week isn't terrible. They'll probably slow down soon. What the fuck? Hi, Arnie. Alright, Aries. I'll probably be done by the time you get out of the meeting. Wow. 1 minute you're acting like you're dying, the next minute you're jumping up, humping the back of the chair, and jumping on the desk. Which is it? Pick a state. Actually, I might do the G suit in like brown tones. I don't know. You could be right though, Alex. The gray-green might it might sit too well with the Fledermaus and not stand out enough. Hi. You want to purr for the audience that loud? Good lord, I heard that through my headphones. Yeah. What? What is it, little stink? Hmm? I know, old man. I know. So yeah, we gotta let this dry for a minute. So while that's drying, what else can we pull out to work on? I could give the Mark 44 a flat coat, because that has not been done yet. Nope. That is not yours to chew on, nor is that. Arnie! If you're gonna be that kind of problem, I need you to get down. He's rubbing his head on the microphone. Arnie. Come on. Yes, you're 18. I get it. You have the right to act like a crotchety old man. Please stop. I might just hand paint something that matches one of the symbols on the airframe. No, we are not rubbing face on that. Okay, time for you to get down, buddy. I'm guessing there's innuendo there, but there's a lag on the YouTube side, so I forget what I even said that caused you to say that, so I'm out of it. No context. But yeah, let me throw a matte coat on this. I'm trying to think of things to do while the paint dries on the pilot. Oh, I know what we could do on that. We still got to do the chrome. Where did I just put that? There it is. I forget what it's like to have a girlfriend. I've been married for 22 years. Actually, our 22nd anniversary is in July. But keep an eye on the Twitch only side of things, because Aries and I are probably going to get back into playing some Aliens Fireteam Elite together. And when we do, I'll probably stream our progress. We've already finished it once, but I want to play back through it, see if I can find more of the intel stuff, and play a different character class just to switch it up a little bit. So since I have it on Xbox, I'll be streaming it on Twitch. Good Lord, what happened there? Oh yeah, she doesn't complain when I get my hobby stuff. But I also make sure all the bills are paid first. I'm just dry brushing a bit of the chrome on here to scuff it up. This goes over here. Get you here. Just cleaning the chrome out of the brush real quick. Matte coat, airbrush. Wow, we got quite a few people watching on Twitch. Welcome in, everybody. If you're new to the channel, thanks for watching. If you're an old timer that's lurking, thanks for lurking. If you've been trying to chat and it hasn't been coming through, let me know, because sometimes that does pop up as an issue. Didn't open my valve. Gabe Newell would not be happy. Blow any dust off. I thought I got it all off last night. But yeah, I was really messing around with the streaking grime and other effects that I got at the time. And this is one of the more odd designs from... It's supposed to be from Robot Battler 5, I think it's called, or Robot Battle 5. But it was adopted into the Machine and Krieger universe, I want to say back in like 2009 or so? Same designer, Kao Yokoyama. But it also reminds me kind of like the ape-like suits from the anime Big Wars. Rated R, if you're under 18, you know, blah blah blah. You can find it everywhere though, I think it's even on YouTube. Again, same mechanical designer. At least the US market name for the series was called Big Wars, it was just a movie. I forget what I did with the torso-only part of the figure. If I can find it, I'll just throw it in the suit and call it good. So, forward progress is always good progress. We're reaching the 3-hour mark, I'm afraid. And I'm kind of reaching stopping points on everything right now. So unless something miraculous happens, I'm probably going to be ending the stream here shortly. Just want to get the airbrush cleaned out. But that's always been the whole thing behind Machine and Krieger, is you've got these big, fantastical things like the Nut Rocker and the suits, yet they have tiny weapon. They don't have some big mega weapon or anything like that. And honestly, that works kind of in its favor. It's one of the things that makes it fun. And it kind of makes sense, too, because you've got this laser weapon in this destroyed future. So you gotta think, how much of the tank is about powering that weapon? And how powerful is that weapon? Does it need to be that big if it's capable of doing, you know, massive damage? But again, that's just the fun of it. And it was all based off of, like... that's a chunky up in there. It was all based on kit bashing. So there's no really set rule anyway outside of imagination. Yep, I'm gonna have to give you a clean tonight, I can tell. Now, some later models did kind of balance that a bit more, but some of the better, more iconic ones are just like you said, big thing, tiny gun. Excuse me. So, Fledermaus is basically done now. I'll do a short for it later on today. Get that going. I like how it turned out. It's a bit different, a little cleaner than my usual, but still grimy enough to look appropriate. But, yeah, what do you guys think I should work on next? I want to use the tractor that I've got coming as kind of like a palate cleanser. Something a lot different in terms of subject. But I want to finish up Eve. I've got like 6 printed subjects that I really want to get knocked out. And I'm also working on the smaller version of the Reliant on the side. Eek. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, that's not good. I'm gonna have to reglue that. Okay. Yeah, I'm working on the smaller version of the Reliant on the side, so I can practice for the big one. I'm about to start building the lights for it. I haven't really done anything major as far... I'm just breaking everything. I'm gonna stop touching things. I might do the light work on stream, so just so you can see how I kind of go about it. I did it before on the refit saucer. But yeah, just drop some ideas. You can put them on one of the posts down below. On what else you'd like to see. Yeah, this is 1/20th scale as well. This is the figure that came with it. Yeah, I'm just getting sloppy and breaking stuff left and right, so we're gonna probably shut down here pretty quick. So I can get to fixing stuff that I'm breaking right now. And, yeah, we'll call it a night. That and these Indians have to stop calling me, asking me for my Medicaid. So, yeah. Thank you again for everybody watching. Sorry today was kind of a slower stream, but we did finish something. And I will see you all later. Have a good night. Have a good week. My next stream day will probably be either Sunday or Monday. Don't know exactly which. I haven't seen the schedule for next week yet. I'll try and get some streams in during the week if I can, but I can't promise anything, so I'll catch y'all later. Have a good